Good morning, good morning, good morning. Friends, very good morning. So let us start with today's news. Now, of course, nowadays, top news starts with the global market because at the end of the day, our market is falling following the global footprints. So if we see yesterday also, Dow Jones is down by almost 740 points and even Nasdaq is down by around 500 points. That shows that the global weakness is staying there. And one of the main reason, as you are aware, yesterday, once the Fed has increased Fed rate by almost 0.75 basis. No, global recession fear is coming into picture now. US may go into recession by the end of the year. Now that fear is poking world over the market. Now the Fed has already told that in next cycle, that is in July and also in August, they may increase by almost at least by 0.50 or 0.75 basis point. And again by another 50 basis point by next month. So that shows the problem is there, and that problem is showing everywhere now. Even if you talk about ECB yesterday increased their lending rates to 1.25%. Now, overall, at the world level, inflation is so high that central banks has no option but to increase rates. Even in India, you are aware that RBI is increasing rate as and when the next policy is coming, and even the last time they increased it by 0.50. Now in the July, also they are going to increase by 50 basis point. So the thing is, in this increasing interest rate regime, of course, the main predominant mission is to bring inflation down. And once the inflation goes down, you know that growth may go down. So that is a problem. See, overall, this recessionary fears which is coming into picture is spoking the market. And if you talk about yesterday and in last June month, no Indian invested in Bombay Stock Exchange lost around 16 trillion rupees overall. And if you see, our market capitalization has come down below 240 lakh crores. Now that is a big fall in the market. And the reason is simple that this growth is slowing down. The reason is due to high inflation and the high interest rate. Correct. Now the problem is once this US is started increasing the rate, the difference between our debt risk-free rate and US debt risk-free rate is actually narrowing. And when it narrows, no, normally what FI does, FI take out money from the developing country and they transfer it to their country. Okay, because the see, if the risk is lower and the rupee is depreciating, then basically if the difference is lower and if the rupee is depreciating, no, then the marginal gain is very less for FI to stay in India. And if the risk-free rate in US is increasing, of course they will go to their country only. So that is or no, the big FI flow which is happening from developing countries to the developed country is bringing all the developing countries market down. And of course, US is in a problem. Now, if you see the 0.75 basis point, it is the highest level increase in a single time from last rate of 1994. Okay, so that shows that no US is so much keen because US Fed was literally behind the curve over the time. Okay, and actually they are not admitting it, but actually they literally fail in actually controlling their inflation and economy also. And now they are in a big problem. See, they were telling that they want a soft landing of their economy, but the way things are going on, it will be completely a hard landing. And if there is an hard landing, it will affect across the sector. And along with US, other countries will go down. You talk about China. China also because of their zero COVID policy, they are putting so much of pressure to the common public, and also, they are actually hurting their economy. But this is what China is. No, it's a communist country, and you in communist countries like no, the rule of the government is the rule of the law. Okay, so that is why no, they are locking all the cities and everything. But I don't know why. But you also know that no, COVID is now a normal situation. Now you have to accept it is not going to go anywhere in next decade or 2 decades. So, but this is their policy, and because of their policy, now Tata Motors is in a problem, and Tata Motors is falling because that's they told in their annual report that supply chain problem is there in China. Okay, they are not able to bring their products as early as possible, and that is why the gel, one of the subsidiary, that is JLR, is having a very good sales in China over the years. Now that is hurting, and that is why Tata Motor was down. Similarly, many of the companies located in China is facing a production problem, and their data, that is industrial data output, is at a lower level. So all this stuff, even Europe, we talk about, as I told, BOE has increased rate now because the inflation is so high. They have no option, and again the energy prices are rolling on a higher level because of the Russia-Ukraine crisis. So overall, if you see the complete package, it's not a good package currently available for the world market. And the thing is, we have to live with this now. Whether this recessionary fear we go more 6 months or 1 year or 2 years, we don't know. Correct? Because inflation cannot go down so easily. It will take some time. It may so US may continue this type of policy for next 6 to 8 months or 1 year, that God knows, but yes, they are going to continue until the inflation of 2% is achieved. Now understand one thing. Currently US is at an inflation of 8%. Now 8 point, I think 6%. Correct. Now if you are at an inflation of 8.6%, if you and you want to bring at inflation to 2%, just think about what type of strict monetary policy they have to happen. Now there is a quantitative tightening and quantitative easing is going on. And when there is a quantitative tightening, high beta stock across the world will have a bad impact. Okay, because people want to get out from the risky assets and get into the assets which gives them a proper dividend and all that. And that's why you can see the cryptocurrency fall. Cryptocurrency, overall the market get gone down below 1 billion because it is a risky asset. So people don't want to bet on the risky assets. They want to go into safe havens like risk-free debt and all that. And eventually, what happened because of these gold prices are going up. If you talk about India, the gold prices reached to around 51,000 rupees. And it is normally it happens whenever there is an inflationary fears and whenever there is a world recession or world is overall in a fear, gold always go up, and that's a trend. And that's why gold is always considered as a safe commodity. Correct, and that's why people rush to buy gold whenever there is this type of uh, global crisis and all that. So this is what happening now. The another point which I wanted to is the crude oil. Crude oil is currently at 118 dollars. Of course, it has come down from $124 few days ago. The reason is why it has come down. The because no because of this recessionary fears and all that, everything no people are thinking now that demand will be less over the years. Okay, next 1 or 2 years, and China still is in a problem. That's a demand may be lower, and slowly and gradually supply is catching up, but not as fast as demand it is. But yes, it will catch up. And Russia is also able to sell its oil at a discounted price to many countries. So that is the thing. Because of all that, oil is cooling down, and it will take some time, but yes, it is slowly and gradually cool down. So some of the estimates are that by next quarter, still the oil will be around 18 and 118, and after 2 quarters, it may reach to 105, and after that, it may reach to below 100. There is a Morgan Stanley report. Then within the span of 2 years, the oil made it to around 75 to $78. Now, if really that happens, that will be a big plus point for India because India, no, oil is the major component to control inflation. If oil is controlled, no, then everything is controlled. So that is the thing. Now, because of the high oil crude prices, aviation fuel, price ATF price is increasing, and it is almost increased by almost 120% by the last July month, 2021. Okay. And even Ajay Singh, the SpiceJet CMD, told that at this level, no, it is very difficult to operate an airline because they have to increase their fare rate, and also they told that government to reduce the tax on the ATF, because unless the tax goes down, no, it will not be affordable for the airlines also, because normally a fuel component is almost 40% of airline operations. Okay. So if their major component, that is raw material price, goes up, no, then that will impact the margin of the all the airlines companies. So yesterday, if you seen, no, Indigo fallen by almost 7%, even SpiceJet fallen by 5% odd. So that shows that there is a problem in the aviation industry, and of course, government has to look on it, because you cannot hurt. See, if you are reducing excise duty on the normal people, know that by almost 8 to 10 rupees and all that, and they are bearing well. Actually, they have to do something for the aviation industry also, because aviation industry is always in a problem. And no, that's why aviation industry is not able to make a good profit, because it is always considered as it is a discretionary item. No, only rich people can buy. But and then government should not let no aviation industry to die. And that is my request and our request to the government also, to keep, you have to take care of the aviation industry also. Correct. Now talking about LIC. LIC already bought, increased their stock stake on Dr. Reddy to almost 5.6% from 3 point some odd 3.4%. Now the reason is that they see a value addition in the Dr. Reddy, and that's why they are increasing in stake. Now talking about telecom sector, Jio actually gained 6.8 lakh new subscriber in April, and Bharti added around 8.1 lakh subscriber. Now, so Jio is literally cementing his leader position. Even Bharti Airtel is also doing good comparatively. Actually, in last 1 or 2 months, Jio is doing well. Earlier, the Bharti Airtel was doing overall very well. Now, if you talk about Vodafone Idea, now Vodafone Idea has lost almost 15.7 lakh mobile subscriber. Now that shows that Vodafone is losing its customer on a very high speed. And this is what is happening across the telecom sector. Now, in one way, it is going to be a duopoly between Reliance, Jio, and the Bharti Airtel. And that is why one has to keep in mind that if they really want to invest in this type of stock, they have to understand only invest in a sector which a sector where there is a real growth, and also invest in a companies who are the sector leaders. Okay. Now here you can invest in Reliance, Jio, and Bharti. That is recommended from my side also, because overall Reliance is coming out very well. Their overall structure is coming very well. Even the petroleum industry, if you talk about, no, they are getting oil from Russia at a much more discounted level. That is adding to their margins. Even Reliance Jio were doing well. Even Reliance eating retail is coming up slowly and gradually. So for me, even Reliance price target is about 300,000 rupees from here also. So you can think about buying it. And Bharti Airtel, no, it has done extremely well over the years. Okay. The way they've conducted their telecom operations and everything, the way they are able to control their margins. And now, what is they are doing? The average selling price, no, they are going to increase, and it is going to increase across the telecom industry. Reason is simple, that now there is competition between three players only. Okay, now main is Reliance and Jio out of the three, and they both have agreed that they will increase their average selling price, and that is where they will increase their margins. So that's why telecom industry, I think you should think about Reliance and uh, Bharti Airtel. Now talking about ITC. Now see, understand one thing. ITC has been resilient over the last few months, even though the market has fallen so much. And many brokerages come out a report where their target is more than 310 rupees. The reason is simple, that when there is a problem globally, people normally goes to a stock which is giving a high yield dividend. Okay, how dividend yield they have, and this dividend will help to the investor, to increase decrease their losses, and they to have a decent return. So IT is giving a very good dividend. Again, it is very much undervalued stock. So overall, because of the undervalued stock, no, at the end of the day, no, because even though the market is falling, IT is not falling because ITC is having a good FMCG operations now. Also, cigarette segment is doing well. Even the hotel segment now coming up from the COVID crisis. So all this sector is adding to the value of ITC, and that's why people are going with the ITC for a long term, and that's why you have seen that ITC has not fallen in last few months. So guys, this was all about today's news. And guys, if you really want to understand more about fundamental of the stocks and how to understand sector and everything, I'm always conducting a free webinar twice a week. You can click the below link and attend it. It is completely free. And one small request is do like this video and do share it as much as possible. And do subscribe to my channel because this will help to uh, enhance my reach across the various investors because my mission is to provide you all the information as best as possible and as quick as possible and also an authentic actually advice, not a tempted advice. So guys, this was all from my side. So I see you tomorrow on the daily top news segment. See you soon. Bye.